Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
It is Friday. Just seems strange because we had yesterday off, and now we're back here on Friday, and then we have Saturday, Sunday off. I'm a little off today.
I almost put the garbage out today just because I'm not there.
Mm-hmm. Well, some things never change. It is Friday. Today's guests, including Ian Furness, who's standing by, brought to you by Langley Chrysler. Don't struggle to find a great deal on new or used vehicles when Langley Chrysler has over 200 vehicles on the lot. Save up to $10,500 on Ram at Langley Chrysler in-store or online at langleychrysler.com as we bring in Ian Furness from KGR Radio, Q13 Sports, the 1-2 Seahawks in San Francisco on Sunday. How are you, sir?
Good, guys. You had yesterday off. I thought it was a big news day, right? Did a couple signings by the Canucks yesterday?
Yeah, later on. It was Truth and Reconciliation Day in Canada, most parts of Canada. Yesterday. We had it off. We're back on this Friday. Hey, Ian, we'll deal with the Seahawks in a second, but talking about an ex-Seahawk, Richard Sherman, one of your favorites, can he help the Buccaneers?
I would think so. Hard to say, though, where he's at. Physically, I think he's okay. Seems like he's in good shape. That's all the reports we're getting. The problem with Sherm is, he's still 30-plus years old as a cornerback. He was never the most fleet of foot anyway. When they let him play some press man, where he can kind of get physical with guys at the line of scrimmage, he's got some off-field issues as well. In fact, he had a pre-trial court appearance today. I don't think he had to be there. I think his attorney could represent him. So I think there's a lot of people here asking, why didn't Seattle sign him? I think it's pretty simple. The optics of what happened over the summer with him, trying to break the door down at the in-laws' house, completely inebriated, wrecked his car in a construction zone at middle of the night. It just wasn't going to fit here. So he goes all the way across the country to Tampa Bay, where Bruce Arians obviously doesn't care about that stuff. And from a football standpoint, they need some they need help at cornerback position, so he'll probably help them out.
Well, I was just going to go there, Ian. People in Seattle probably asking, why didn't you re-sign Richard Sherman? Because there are concerns at the cornerback position. 1-2 after 3 games. What are these What are the team's biggest concerns?
Well, I think the defense has to be at the top of the list. We'll get to the offense in a second.
Yeah.
But the defense has to be at the top of the list. It's their teams are scoring on 50% of their drives against Seattle. It's second worst in the league. Their total yards against is worse. Their opposing quarterbacks are throwing and completing passes at a 70% clip. Time of possession is awful on both sides of the ball. They're not possessing the ball, and defensively they're not getting off the field as well. So it's just been a lot of different things. Defensively, they have just not been good. And then on the offensive side of the football, guys, here's the other part of it. They've been good in the first half, but they've scored just 13 second-half points in 3 games. They haven't yet scored in the third quarter. So even when they jump out to leads, they're not able to hold on to those leads because, again, they either can't stay on the field, too many 3-and-outs. They've run fewer plays on the offensive side of the football. They've run fewer plays than any team in the NFL, and it's not close right now. The time of possession, they're minus 14 minutes per game. That's almost an entire quarter that they're giving up in terms of time of possession. So they've got a lot of different issues, man. It's a long list right now.
Yeah.
It's certainly not football like we're used to.
Yeah, Ian, our poll question just a couple of days ago, who do you want to see in the playoffs, the Mariners or the Blue Jays? A lot of people obviously voting Blue Jays, but give us an update on the Mariners, the fever in that city right now and what they're doing and this great run they're on.
Well, first of all, I'm curious. How can people in Vancouver be rooting for anything from Toronto right now?
Canada's team.
Ian knows Canada.
Canada's team is the Blue Jays, Ian, bottom line. Yes, we do hate Toronto.
Ian's bang on.
We hate Toronto for several reasons, but, yeah, it's Canada's team.
I don't get that, man. I think you guys up there got some issues.
Well, we do.
Anyway. The excitement out here is fun. They're going to have close to a sellout, if not a sellout, for all 3 games. And
Oh,
that's
nice.
unheard of. I don't think that hasn't happened in September since 2001, and that was the last time they went to the postseason. It's really unlikely. A lot of people here don't want to compare it to 1995, but I think 2 things come into play. If there wasn't a 1995, we wouldn't be having this discussion right now because baseball would have left town. Number 2, it is like 1995 because much like 1995, 2021, they have no business being where they are right now in the sense that they were pretty much out of it. They lost home series to the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Kansas City Royals, but then they've gone on and swept the A's in the last 12 games they've played them. They beat the Astros in a couple. I mean, it's remarkable what they've been able to do. And the difference between 95 and 2001, for example, and this team isn't very good. Like, talent-wise, they aren't very good. And that's what's kind of remarkable about what's going on right now. They have maybe 3 starting pitchers they can count on. One of them is a rookie in Logan Gilbert. Their bullpen has been sensational. Closer by committee. Scott Service has managed that in a phenomenal way. He should be manager of the year without a question. But offensively, outside of Ty France, Seager with some power, and Mitch Haniger, there's no consistency at the plate. Now, Kelnick's been better lately, but when you just kind of look at everything together, it's remarkable that this team literally controls its own destiny. If they win 3 games, they're going to be playing at least 163 games when it's all said and done.
Ian, I promise you one Kraken question every week. They went through Alberta, Edmonton, Calgary. Your thoughts on the Kraken right now?
My thoughts were I care about preseason hockey as much as I care about NFL preseason. We had people down here. They were euphoric when they won that first game against the Canucks in Spokane, and then they got just annihilated by Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl and company in Edmonton, and then obviously came back and got one in Calgary. And as I tried to point out, let's look at the lineups here, right? I mean, Vancouver played. Where's Vancouver? Abbotsford. They played the Abbotsford Canucks on Sunday.
Yeah.
Then they played the Edmonton Oilers with half of a Kraken lineup on Tuesday, and they got drilled. Of course they did. And they kind of had a mishmash on Tuesday. So hard to tell. It feels like they're pretty set on their top 3 lines, but they don't have a guy that can vary it. They don't have a true goal scorer, I don't think, and that'll hurt them. Their top 4 probably good on the back end. I think their goaltending is really good. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I mean, that pairing of Grubauer and Driedger is pretty good.
One more before we let you go, Ian. I'm on this. Back to the Seahawks for a second. I'm on the Seahawks website the other day.
Yep.
Okay, and up pops up a scroll. Single game tickets available for Lumen Field. I can't remember in recent history seeing anything like that. What's going on in terms of ticket sales for the Seahawks?
I'd be lying if I told you I really knew.
Okay.
I can guess on a couple levels, O'Donnell. I think one would be this. With where we are in the pandemic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reluctance for people down here to have to show proof of vaccination to get in, and then wear a mask when you're in an outdoor stadium as well. There is some pushback on that. There are some people that just flat out won't go through that process and don't want to go. It's a little frustrating, and I'll be honest with you. Look, I want to do everything we can to stay safe. I think everyone should get vaccinated, all those things. I'm all for all of that. It is hard, though, I think, for our fans here in Seattle to watch games all across the country and see it's one or the other. Like, show vaccination proof and you can go in and watch the game like a normal fan, or don't and put a mask on. Here, you have to do both. And there is a lot of frustration with that. And to be honest with you, rightfully so. Indianapolis and Minneapolis, watching those games, being back there, guys, in Indianapolis and Minneapolis, it was great to know that at least in the Midwest of our country, the pandemic has been eradicated. It's incredible.
That's what I thought the reason was. Ian, thanks for this. We'll talk to you next Friday.
You bet, guys. Take care.